Everybody, and welcome back. Fox and Hollow Paper, and this is the third video with the stamps that we made out of rubber. This was the first one. We made a tree, and then in the last video I made all of these. So that was kind of a quick video, but today we're going to finally put them together and see what we can make with them. So I'm just going to pop them off to the side. And I'm thinking this first one I'm going to do is going to not be too much color. I do really love just browns, blacks, grays with a little touch of color. And so we're going to try that here today. Now, I want to find the right stamps. I'm thinking might have some trees going in there. So I did make 3 little witches. So I'm going to make a few things today. But this one is pretty big for on there, although that would be adorable too. I might use it again. I think I'm gonna use this one. And I don't know what I want to actually. No, I think I'm going to use the tree. Yeah, they do look messy on the back. I've been playing with them a little bit. I might put the tree up high, put the girl there. But I'd really like to use one of these lights. Actually, I think I'm going to let the tree go on this one. And we're going to use the light post. Kind of like that. So let's do the background first. I'm going to be using Vintage Photo first. Got my other favorites out ready to go. Got a set of small brushes, and I just got these off of Amazon. I'll try to put a link for that. So these brushes are Recollections from Michaels, and I just love them. I know lots of people use the round brushes. I do have a few of those, the makeup brushes, but these ones cover a lot of territory very quickly. So I'm just going to go around the outside. And I'm working today on some mixed media paper. So I'm just going to go around the outside. Let's see here. It's going to be backwards, but I'm thinking I might put a little... Should have put the moon on first. That would have been good. But I think I'll do another one with the moon. I'm going to put that on now. I do want to add a little bit of color. So I'm going to pop my brown away. And I'm going to grab... I think I'm going to grab a teal of some sort, or a blue. I think I'm going to go with peacock feathers. Just add a little bit of color. I mean, who doesn't like teal and brown together? It's amazing, of course. I'm just going to pre-plan a little bit. I do want to keep it pretty light on this side for the lights, so I'm going to add some darker colors along here. What else do I want? I think I'm done with that one. Now I'm going to use some inks. So the first one I used obviously was oxides, and I have oxides in the large containers for myself, and I have all of my inks in a small container here. And I use the giant brushes for the oxides, and I use the smaller brushes for the inks. And that's just my way of keeping everything separated, because we don't want to mix those up, do we? I'm going to add a little bit of pink. It's quite a pale pink, like it's not in your face pink by any means. And I'm not pushing very hard. I don't want too much. And then I'm going to add a little bit at the bottom here. Bring everything together. I kind of like that. And I am going to grab some fossilized amber. And this one can be quite a strong color, so I definitely want to get rid of a lot of that. Now this stamp is going to go right around here, and I would like some yellow around those lamps. I'll just get that put in. And I also want to create a little bit of orange with the pink in the background. Yeah, like that. All right. And I lied when I said that was enough pink. So I'm going to use some picked raspberry. And if you're interested, I would show you here. This is how I keep my brushes in this container. And I have all of the inks on this end, and then all of the oxides on this end, and they all just fit in perfectly. Obviously the pink one goes there. And I use browns the most, so I just kind of leave that one on top. But yeah, that's my setup. It works pretty nifty. Okay, picked raspberry is quite a bit more, stronger than the Kitsch Flamingo, so I'm getting a little bit more pink, and I like that. I think that looks good. We're going to be adding as we go, so starting out with a little bit more of a subtle background I think looks good. I am going to go in with some ground espresso now. Grab my large brown brush, and if you notice with these ones, I do 2 colors on each, and I just have dots on each end. I don't know if anybody cares, but that's how I use it. And for the brown, I just use 1 brush, lighter browns, and then obviously the darker browns. So ground espresso goes on this side. I'm going to go around the outside. I do like a nice dark border. And if you work with inks, you probably notice that when you go over it, it looks awfully dark, and then it kind of dries a little softer. So it's really nice to work with that way, of course, because much like watercolor, you're going to build up all of your layers, and you don't accidentally make too big of a mess right off the bat. Just going to go along the edges here in a little further, getting those corners. I think that looks good. All right, got that one done. Put that away. And I think we're going to give it a little bit of a spray and dab it off, see what we get. And I just used this. It's actually for oil. You can open up the top and pour, or you can spray. I actually did buy it for my olive oil, but I loved it so much. I put water in to wash it out, and then I loved it so much I kept it for my craft room. So give it a little spray. Just let it do its magic, and I'm going to dry it off. All right. Well, I really love that. This is, oops, there was a little bit of a wet spot. I thought I got it all, but I guess not. Anyways, I like that. We're going to do some stamping now. And I think I was going to do brown. So I'm going to be using my Distress Archival inks, and this is a beautiful set of 4. These two are my favorite. I use them all the time. And I think I will do this in brown, just so you can see. We often stamp in black, but brown can look pretty amazing too. This is still a little damp, so it's kind of got a little bit of a warp to it, but that's okay. All right, so let's go through an ink. Okay, you may have noticed if you watched the other videos that I had put this on a block, and it worked great on just a regular piece of paper, but I like to work in a spiral mixed media notepad, and unfortunately I had to take it off. And just so you know, the glue held really well. But I did manage to get it off. So I thought I would just do this today. I could have gone over a little bit further, but that's okay. That's not the focal point anyways. The girl is. So let's, I think I'm going to pop her right there. So this is a bookmark I'm making for myself. It's kind of big, but I kind of like that. Gives more room to play. All right. There we go. She moved a little bit, but that's okay. A little bit of a shadow. I like it. All right. So again, if you had watched the other videos, these are not, because they're such a big surface, it does leave a little bit of texture behind, and it's not like a solid stamp, but that's okay. There is a few things you can do. So these brushes, I'll be using those. And so I was using the Ground Espresso Archival ink. And so I can use the Ground Espresso Oxide or Ground Espresso Distress ink, either one. But I'm just going to go in and grab some on my brush and go in here and fill this in if I like, although I really don't mind that look at all. And you'll see in a minute, the other option that we can do is use a pen. Nice brown ink, or you could use a pencil crayon, whatever you like to use. I'm coloring outside the lines here now, better be careful. But you can go through and darken it. I'm going to go ahead and get my larger brush and I'm going to do, I think, just a little shadow of hers going off to the side here, because right now she's just kind of hanging out. You know, it kind of grounds, I think it grounds the image in, and I'm going to do the same with this, just a little bit. And then I am going to go through and add a little bit more ground in. And the really fun thing is, you know, sometimes you want to do some art, but you don't know where to start. This really gives you a starting point. Now you've put a couple stamps down, and you can kind of go wild and crazy with it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I do have some brown pens. This is Pitt Pen by Faber-Castell. This is Stabilo water reactive brown pen. This is, you know, I got it pigment liner. That's all it's. I got it at HomeSense in a pack. It's really nice, anyways, and I'm going to use it. But so the Pitt pen is a lot of fun, and so you could go through, if she's not dark enough, just color her in. Again, you could use pencil crayons or whatever you like, but it gives you a starting point to create something really magical. And I think, again, if you watch the video, I didn't love her hair, so this gives me the opportunity to play with it a little bit. And I can change it however I want. There's her arms. And I did think her waist was a little bit too small, so I can widen her waist a bit. Here's her other arm. You could add however many curls you want in her hair. But see how easy, it only takes a few moments to go through and create, you know, make her a little darker. So I think that looks good. And any mistakes you had while you were carving, this is a great time to fix those up, or you can change it all together. You don't have to color it all in. Oopsies, I'm trying to go quick here, but I'm making boo-boos, but that's okay. All right. This is a great time to add some more ground to her. And I think I'm going to do one more stamp. I was thinking of doing this one down here. So let's try that. Let's grab our ink again. All right, that's good. Pop that just coming off the side down here, I think. Add a little bit of interest. Yeah, I like that. All right, now it's not quite so bare down there. Get back with your pen. All right, so I mean, I like that. I think that looks pretty cute. You can add some different elements in. It's both a dark brown. You could use a black if you want that to show more, but I think that looks good. And this got a little goofy, so you could just go back through. You could even extend it a little higher. That's kind of fun. Gives it a little bit more whimsical look. You could add some curly cues if you like. I really like that long top, so I'm going to extend this one too. And if you like, I want some stuff dangling here. So I'll just do that. Yeah, it's kind of just some interest. All right. Now I'm going to add some grass. This pen is really good for that. It's got a really soft tip. Although I've used this brown one quite a bit, so it's not as fine as it used to be. But it's these little final touches that add so much. So just continue to add. Maybe this one's got some other little flower things, and fun little plant. Okay. This one is a much finer tip. So you can go through and add some even smaller details if you like. So maybe I want her hair to wisp out a little bit more. That looks kind of cute. Yeah, I like that. All right. Go through and fix a few things if you want, or make some, this makes a very fine grass. Maybe some little flowers. Yeah. And I have to say, I'm a dark girl. I love just leaving random dots here and there. I think it looks kind of cute. It feels extra whimsical for me. I feel like we do need something up here. I'm not quite sure what that is right now. Actually, I do know. I think I'm going to put this tree. So this tree is normally used on the right, but I'm going to just show you how you can. So we could use just this side to bring in some branches, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go on a different way here, because one of the reasons I bought these, these really small inks was for this moment when I don't want to ink up the whole thing. It's hard with a larger pad These are even larger, and of course I have a really large archival one. I wanted a set of inks that I could go in and really be specific with where I inked. And this is the opportunity I've been looking for. So I'm just going to put a few branches in there. Just kind of another interesting way you can use your inks up. I may have gone too far in there, unfortunately, but we'll see. We're just playing. Not making a masterpiece. I'm not charging $1,000. It's just for me. Oh, hello. Well, that's amazing. I love it. Guess what? Now I want a few more. I think I might drop some a little lower, just a few here. Might actually just pop it through here. That looks good. And I might put a few more up here. So I'm going to just clean that off so I don't get double. And then I'm just going to go along this edge. See how much fun we're having? Just with homemade stamps. Okay, that's enough. I am actually going to do that once. And so these ones are kind of more in the background. Now, if you make homemade stamps, this thing is amazing. It works really well. That looks great. Might even get an extra stamp out of it. Some phantom limbs in the background there. Looking good. Might do that again there. All right. So that kind of filled it in a little bit. I really like that. I mean, you can continue to go with this. You could just keep going and going and going. I think that looks really good. And I am going to fill in just the bottom here. I feel like it would look good with a little contrasting black because there's a lot of brown going on. I'm going to use a Tombow. It's a water-based pen, but I mean, as you have a Faber-Castell Pitt pen, you could use whatever you have. I just really like these pens. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit more kind of ground in. And you know, when I do stuff like this, a lot of times I'm sorry after, but you don't know if you don't try, right? So it's all about playing, just having some fun. And the nice thing about these, you can flip it over and you got a nice small one on the other side. We can add a little bit of shadow in at the bottom of things if we want. You can add a few small grasses. And if you're quick enough, you can get nice fine lines with it. I think that looks good. Put a few dots here and there. I am going to go in with a little bit of yellow in here. So I'm going to use mustard seed. And this set is only for the Distress Oxides. And I have one that is just for the inks. I have a whole set just for the inks. I don't know where the other two sizes are, so I'm going to use this giant one. Clearly I planned for this really well. Okay, I'm going to add some yellow in there. And because we use the archival ink for stamping, it's not moving any of the any of the ink around there, so that's great. I mean, if I was planning this again, I would have left that a little lighter along this edge, but that's what happens when you just play with ink. And I do find yellow is fun to add to pretty much anything. It brightens things up. I can put some down here in the blue, and it's gonna give me a little bit of green around the grass line, which obviously wouldn't be bad. And adding it to the pink is gonna make some nice orange. So anyways, you can have some fun with that. All right, get those put away. And I think I am gonna go around the outside. See how when I went around the outside, it looks so dark, but it no longer does. So I think I'm gonna take some scorched timber. And if you're not familiar with that color, it's quite like a black brown, darker tone. I'm gonna go around the outside one more time. Kind of frame our little picture. And then I'm just gonna add one or two more details. I'm gonna call it good. There, I like that. That looks super cute. So it is kind of dark. So I'm gonna add some white, and you could use, I'll just show you these are some of my favorite pens to add details. They're Uniball, silver, gold, and white. But I also do like, this is an acrylic pen. It's excellent too. So white. And I can get my white rolling here. Sometimes it likes to not work great. And of course, today is one of those times, so I guess I'll be using the acrylic pen. If you've worked with them before, you know you got to give them a good shake and press the tip down to get the paint rolling. Always do that off to the side because sometimes they just belch out a giant blob. That's never fun. And if you're using them on ink, you'll sometimes notice they'll pick up the color underneath. So don't be afraid to put a fair amount on, because it will, you might even have to go over it twice. It'll look really bright when you first put it on, but it is going to kind of flow into the background. Just some cute little dots here and there. You could also take a paintbrush and splatter this. And I do love that look, and maybe do that in another one. So we can put some lights in here. All right. Gold and silver would be good to add to this too, but I'm not going to do that today. Just going to give this a quick dry off and do a couple more things. All right. I think I would like to now, I'm going to use pencil crayon. This is a Prismacolor. You could use regular pencil crayon, you know. The more expensive you have, the more color it leaves behind is the only thing. So I'm going to do little highlights on her, a few highlights on her. I think that looks kind of good. And we're going to do one last thing. I do have some stamps that I purchased, and I just wanted to add a little bit of something something, and I don't really know what that is. I might actually use this little tiny, it's actually writing. It's hard to find writing in a good size. Does anybody else find that? Like, I got this little tiny writing, or I got this giant writing, and that's too big. This might be too small, but that's what's gonna happen. And I think I'm gonna use Vintage Photo. Actually, no, I'm gonna use Gathered Twigs. It's even a little lighter. And I just want to add that little bit of text in the background. I just want to see. Yeah, see, that's way too much. So knock some of that off. I think I'm going to take it right off of there actually and just use my fingers, because I don't like those. Oh no, I went crooked. Oh well. That's how it goes sometimes. It's still cute. Clean that off a little bit. And put it away. And I want to grab, I kind of like this one. And I don't know if you can tell, but these are not big expensive stamps. They are, I purchased them on Amazon. I think they were like $10 a set, which, I mean, you can't beat that to get a good stamp. I'm just gonna put, now I think I maybe did too much. You know what? This is the first bookmark I've made with this, so I'm kind of having fun. Yes, I may have gone overboard, but it's mine, and I can do that. And you know what? I can cut a piece of paper and make another one. It's as simple as that. But at least now I know what I like, what I don't like. Let's take a look at it. I think that's kind of fun. You could continue with this. I mean, I was actually going to put a moon in and I forgot. And I think that would have been amazing to put. And this one's kind of big. I have a smaller circle. I would have put it in, but I think that looks great. And even, you know what? Just because we're sitting here, just for fun, let's try to see if we can remove a little bit and make a moon. So I'm going to take my cloth, a little bit of water on, stick my finger in, and I think we'll put it right here. And just very lightly, don't get carried away or you'll take the paper with it. Very lightly make yourself a moon. Okay. And then what you can do is take a little tiny brush and we'll emphasize it a bit more around the outside. Sometimes it's just fun to screw up. And you know what would look cool is to grab an interesting blue. Am I brave enough for the dark Uncharted Mariner? I don't know. That's awfully dark. Let's try it. So I don't have a brush for every color because I don't want to have 12 million brushes everywhere. I'm never in that much of a hurry. So I just clean my brush off and go into the next color. As long as I keep them separated from oxides to inks, I'm okay. Well, I like that already. So I'm just gonna lightly go around the outside. Oh, that was bad. Yikes. Oh well. you've ever done a video, you learn very quickly that it's not like working on your own quietly. You're thinking of a lot of different things at once, and so things don't always go to plan. Sometimes that just happens. Let's use a little bit bigger one. Let's do some clouds. Actually go into the moon a little bit. Yeah, that gave it a little bit more of an eerie feel to it. And I don't mind that at all. That was kind of fun. All right, we ended up with a moon. Looks kind of cute. I mean, you could go in with a pen if you wanted to and make that white. But I do just want to show you. I don't know if you can see in the video, but it did kind of take off the top layer, unfortunately. I scrubbed it a little too hard, so you don't want to do that. But I think once it's dry, it's still a little damp, it'll kind of settle down. But I think that looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. Go around the outside. And you probably noticed that, you know, it looked kind of dark when I put stuff on, but it does lighten when it dries. But there we go. That's an interesting bookmark. I'm definitely going to be using it. I'm starting a new book, and so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to do one more thing because I just can't help myself. And you know, I would say I just can't help myself is the story of my life. I do it a lot. I just can't help but add more. And then I often am very sorry I didn't just stop. It's clearly a life lesson I'm not going to learn in this lifetime, maybe. There. Because I had gone darker with that blue, it kind of washed all of this, made this look not like it needed a little bit more. So, and I felt like I needed a little bit of pink up in these areas too, because it was just in those, just down here. It wasn't very cohesive, I guess. That's the word I'm looking for. But it is now, and if I throw a little bit over that blue, I might grab a really cool purple out of that. That would not make me sad at all. Yeah, look at that. That really brought it together. It was like this was something else going on and this was something else. You kind of gotta bring those colors all together to create something amazing. I have to say, picked raspberry is just like one of my favorite colors. If I had to pick any colors, I would pick, you know, picked raspberry, fossilized amber, probably maybe peacock feathers or mermaid lagoon, because you can make everything with those colors and they just flow together so nicely. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on these. All right, well, there's one down, and let's move on to a couple others. I want to make a card for Halloween, a cute little witch card. And I also really want to make a large one. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, here's the second project. I'm going to make this cute card for Halloween. I'm going to do a little bit of stuff on the outside. I'll do that after. But right now we want to work on this. And I think the first thing I am going to do is cut the corners off. So I got my crocodile. Just going to do small ones along these corners. Right. So for this one, I am going to use this little girl because she's adorable. And my tree, except I'm actually going to do more of it. And I think I'm going to do the little cat with it. Yeah, let's try those things. But first, let's do a background. Let's do this one a little different. First things first, get all the ink off my fingers. Because I don't need to, I have a habit of transferring it all onto a clean piece of paper. That's never fun. Let's do this one a little bit different. I think we're going to start with some Villainous Potion. And there's the purple one right there. We're going to go around the outside. This is an amazing purple. It's funny. I noticed they don't have loads of purples. I talked about that, I think, in my first video, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's never enough purples. Maybe I just don't have all of them. But this one, I mean, wow. I'm going to bring it around like that. I have a slight idea what I'm going to do before I start, but I'm just winging it. I'm going to bring in this Wilted Violet. And it's quite a predominant color. So I'd be better off to start like that, I think. I'm definitely not pushing. And I think what I am going to do, pop that back. And before I get too carried away, I'm going to put a moon in this one. I should have done that already. I think I'm going to put it somewhat behind the trees, right there. Go around the outside a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Now I am gonna grab, I think I'm gonna grab Salty Ocean. Oh, I already had the blue one. I'm looking all over. It's the other side of my purple. Duh. All right, let's grab some of that. Put the moon back. Whoa. Well, 2 has a lot of pigment to it. don't get too worried about my backgrounds. There are people that do some amazing blending, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not one of them. I guess if I wanted it to, I could take the time, but I don't mind that kind of a messy look, to tell you the truth. All right, I'm gonna grab some picked raspberry. Unfortunately, I don't have it in an oxide yet. I have it in my cart, but I don't have it yet. But this will work for now. Just gonna throw a little bit in here and there. That got to be a perfect circle, and I don't want that. I think I'm actually gonna leave that for now. And I'm gonna give that a quick spray. Take some bigger drops. Oopsies, that's okay. Right there. That looks good. Now I did do this on a different paper because I want to see how it reacts too. The first paper that I used was a really heavy Artist Loft mixed media paper. This is also a mixed media paper, but it is from Walmart. It's not the best quality out there, but you know, I've used it quite a bit and I don't mind it. And it's fun to try different things. Okay, I like that. That's interesting. Let's dry it off and see what else we can do. All right, I'm going to add some brown to the bottom here. I think I'm going to use Vintage Photo. A little bit of a ground in. And I'm going to add that to the top as well. It was still wet. And that is kind of interesting. It leaves a cool pattern behind. See? See what you find out when you don't do things right? I like it. I'm going to add a little bit up around here. These are really kind of cool colors, so this will warm it all up a lot. You can really see the difference from one side to the other. But you do have to be careful. Adding Vintage Photo to blues often turns it green, of course. But that's okay there. Just going to go around the outside. Yeah, I like that. And because this is a Halloween card, I think the grungier the better. Okay, actually, I'm going to add a little ground espresso to that. And then I'm going to give it a spray. And I want to add a little bit of yellow to the moon. Just a very small amount. I think, actually, having an epiphany. I remember I made this moon. It is bigger. No, it's not going to work. I'll use that later. I'm going to throw a little bit of squeezed lemonade. And I was going to say, not very much, but some would be great. There we go. I guess I didn't have enough on my brush. I don't want too much either, but I think that looks good. Does it? Am I finished? Maybe not. There. All right. I think one more thing I'm going to do is grab a little bit of what do I want? I think I'm going to use black soot. And I'm going to use this brush, and it's okay if it's got a little blue in there, but I'm going to grab my circle again. And very lightly, so it's almost non-existent, I'm going to just add a little bit around the outside. You know, it's kind of interesting when you do work like this. You could, if you were in a hurry and you wanted to make a card and get it in the mail, you could. But likewise, a person could spend all day working on one thing just because it's fun. And I'm just gonna make this one side a little darker. That looks good. Just add a little bit of something. You know what I might even do? Because I can. Is very lightly just stencil some of these in. Doesn't have to be exact. Yeah, look at that. This is just a homemade one. Nothing fancy. I just drew on there as I showed you how, oopsies, yike, that got dark. Darn it. It's hard to talk and do stuff at the same time. I'm gonna go just around the outside. There, I think that looks pretty decent. Added just a couple of, just a little bit of interest there. All right. I think this time I'm going to do some stamping a little bit earlier. I want it kind of in the background. And so I did get this stamp from Amazon as well. And that's, you know, the fun thing is you can just make your own stamps, but you can also buy and use these. And I really like these ones that are just kind of random. Like that'll just add some interesting pattern. That might add a little too much interesting pattern. But you know what I do have is, oh, actually, I'm gonna go and grab some Lost Shadow. I'm scared to use this on here. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot going on, but I'm gonna try it because Lost Shadow doesn't have a lot of pigment. Let's just try it on here. Oh yeah, I kind of dragged it, so that wasn't actually. No, I just want to touch it down. We're just trying stuff, right? If it doesn't work out, that's okay. And I don't want these sharp edges, so I'm just going to go pick some of that up. And I'm just going to drop some right there. Yeah, actually, I really like that. I know, you can hardly see it. You're like, what have you just done? Nothing. But I can see it. I'll just stay on the inside here. It just kind of adds a little bit of muck. Okay, not my favorite, but that's okay. Having fun, trying new things. I really like this one. That one's just fun to look at. Let's see here. Yeah, this just kind of looks like watermark. It just kind of makes a messy background. All right, I got to try them. I think I'll put that away. I think this time I might use this larger writing. And I want it in a really pale color. I think I'm going to use tea dye. That happened. Let's just see here. Just a little bit up here. That's actually, I don't know if I like that. It's actually, oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do. I'm going to run with it. We're already here. That's kind of just some interest in the background, so that's okay. All right. I think that's upside down. See, that is kind of, oh, that's not a bad size actually. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's use our stamps. And for this one, I am going to use this tree. I'm going to pop it here. I'm going to use this little girl. I'm going to use this super cute little cat. I think I'm going to do these ones in black. I feel like I'm going to make a mess. And if you've met me, you might say, there's a good chance of that happening. But let's see what happens. And I am using the archival ink. And I want to make sure I got room like that. Put that there. Yike. I got to remember not to lift up straight because it kind of lifts the rubber up. So if you have one of these and you've made a rubber stamp, kind of tip it off to the side so you don't get a double print like I did with the witch. All right. The moment of truth. Oh yeah, look at that. I like it. Okay, let's do the little girl with the lantern. I think we're going to do her here. Trying to decide what else I'm going to do. I'm going to pop her there. Yeah, let's do it. Don't think about it, just do it. All right. She's gonna go, yeah. Submit. Dang it. Get her pressed on. All right. Careful, careful. She's lifting off with that. Oh yeah, that looks great. And let's put the little kitty right there. I'm really happy with how these stamps turned out. They're a lot of fun. Let's put, I don't like everything equal distance, so let's put the cat over by the tree so it's kind of like she's looking for the cat. Uh-oh, I think that one moved. Yike. Should have just used my fingers. All right. Oh, that looks good. All right. I feel like I did make the cat, like carved it a little too large. I wish I would have made it just a little bit smaller, but I put her a little forward so it's like she's closer. Anyways, I like it. I'm going to keep it like that. That little plant stamp I made is pretty useful. I made this little grass stamp. It's not my favorite. It's too thick. I don't love it, so I'm not using it. But I do love these little flowers, and I might just pop them over in the corner there. Yeah, that's enough, I think. Everything you put down doesn't, have to tell a story, but, like even just that little bit, it continues the story off to the sides. And I could actually put that in there too, and I just might. There. Get on there. All right, I'll also give a bottom for the kitty. All right, just a little bit there. Yeah, you can't even hardly see them. But I could go in with the shadow. Just stop. At some point, a person should just stop, and I'm there. Okay. All right. I actually really like the looks of that. In the last one, we did color her in, but to tell you the truth, I really like that look. And in fact, I am really tempted to spray the whole card again. No, I'm just going to leave it. I really love those, and I kind of want more, but I think I'm just going to stop. One thing I am going to do is give the little kitty some eyes. That's pretty easy. Apparently not, because I can't get them both the same size. I'm going to call that. And now I'm going to just go through and add a few things here and there, like maybe some of her hair. Make it a kind of a crazy little kitty. I'll tell you right now, I'm using a micron pen, and I can't say that it likes ink. Like, it doesn't like to touch the ink. But there's nothing better than a micron pen to make whiskers for a cat. And she does need some whiskers. And she looks a little frazzled with her hair like that, and I kind of like it. All right, I love that. I'm going to bring in another pit pan. And this is a gray, cold gray. And we can kind of do a shadow from the girl from the lantern. And then we can do one from the cat. And we can just kind of go in and fill. These Pip pens are really good for adding a little bit of texture here and there because these really pale colors. I mean, you can use a lot of different felt pens, but good for adding, you know, with not having too dark of lines there. Now it looks like there's a ground without, you know, big black lines. All right, I think we will go now. I'm not sure about this one. Oh yeah, that's a nice color actually. This one is another Pip pen. This is a Stabilo again. That's quite a bright yellow. I think I like that one better. So I'm just going to go in here. I just found on the last card that the ink just wasn't bright enough for me. So, and I'm just very like going so super lightly here and building it up. Look how cute that is. You can do it nice and strong around the lantern and then bring it out a little softer toward the outside. I think that looks good. Can take our black pen, and I think we will add in a little bit more ground here because, and then we'll throw in some grass. This looks a little disconnected over here, so we'll just fill that in somewhat. And then let's grab the Micron pen again and do some, see, no, it doesn't want to play. It does not like ink in the background, so let's go back to this one. I wanted some nice fine grass. And let's do some little circles. It's hard to do. Fine lines with this one. Maybe try my black Pip pen. That's got a really fine tip and it's a new tip. That makes a difference. Now, it's still pretty thick, but that's okay. Let's go like that. All right. Cute. There we go. That's looking pretty adorable. I feel like there should have been something up here. This happened the last time too. But I think I'm just going to call this one. I'm going to add a little bit more, but I want to get it on here because I'd like you to see it all put together. And so I'm going to grab some ground espresso again. Grab my brush. And let's do the outside. I don't usually make very many cards, but I want to. I just never really sent cards to anybody. I guess maybe I should if I want to. Or else I would just have a house full of cards. I feel like I should have used a darker color here on this card background, but let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'd like to put something in there, but I don't know. Let's do, yeah, let's do some scorched timber. I'm tempted to do, like, go straight to black, but maybe not. I think I know what I might do. Okay, let's do the outside of this one in scorched timber. So I wanted to do quite a few different variations of these stamps. Like I said, some filling them in, some not. And I think the next one we will do kind of a watered down stamp and see what happens there. But look at how cute that is. That is super cute. I love it. I think if I'm brave, can't decide. I almost like that offset there a little bit. No, I think I know what I'm going to do. I am going to grab, what's this one? Yeah, no, that's not what I want. I'll take this one here. Move that off to the side. I feel like it needs somewhat of a border, so I'm just going to make it look like it's stitched. And I know lots of people stitch paper in their sewing machine, and it looks amazing. I don't have a sewing machine. I don't know how to sew. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. Feels like it needs some swirlies. There we go. All right. A few finishing touches here. Oops. Putting the wrong end on things. And a little quick dot on each one of his eyes. I mean, you could do a lot more things. I'd like to use the gold pen. Oh, let's do it. It can add a lot, or it can be way too much sometimes. But yeah, actually that's pretty minimal. I kind of like it. I could even come in from the outside and do a couple of those. A little bit of grass might be cute here and there. that actually lightened all that dark up. So love it. Gonna keep it like that. And the silver, just so you can see, if you're thinking of getting some of this, or sorry, some of these pens. They are really nice, these Uniball. They write beautifully. They come in all different colors. All right, I think that looks good. I feel like I do want to do something with the outside here. So I might take my black and make it a little messy, because everything feels a little too perfect around the outside. And we don't want that. Okay. Oh yeah, that messed it up a little bit. Make it even a little messier. I think that's pretty darn cute. And, you know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, I mean, you could take black and go through and fill that out, but it kind of gives it an interesting look compared to just regular stamps. I mean, you can continue to go on here with a million different things. Oh my gosh, like it's hard to stop. It's just so fun because every little mark that you make adds something interesting to the picture. Until you find you've gone too far, but I feel like I haven't. I like that. And I want to add something to the outside, but I don't know what it is that I want to add to the outside. I just can't think of what it might be. So maybe I should just leave it alone. Is that what you're thinking? Are you thinking I should leave it alone? That I've made it mucky looking enough? Yeah, I think so. I love it. I am going to glue it on. So just going back through supplies here. This was with the paper from a Walmart pad. So it's not a very heavy mixed media paper, but as you can see, it held the water okay. I mean, I didn't add loads of water. It worked out okay. The other stuff is a lot thicker. So, you know, you wouldn't want to make a bookmark out of this because it's kind of flimsy. Okay, let's see if I can center it, even though I was thinking of putting it off center, but I think I'll just get it on there. How cute is that? Good grief. Again, when you're making these stamps, it's just a lot of fun to see that this did not exist in the world until you made it. So for me, that's the most exciting part. You know what else I would do? Because I don't know what it is. No, then I have to do all the corners. No, I'm going to leave it. I do love rounded corners. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. And wait, there's more. But anyways, we've got 2 projects done. Let's try one more. See what happens. I've had some technical difficulties. It happens. Yesterday I videoed the big one. I was going to do 3 in this. And then my new iPhone came in. So I downloaded everything. I uploaded everything. Everything looked good. I cleared my old phone. And then this morning I realized that the only thing that I can see is missing is the entire video I did yesterday. And I'm already late getting this out, so I'm not doing it again. So here we sit. So we started with the bookmark. We did the card. And This last one was a longer video. I had so much fun doing it. I gave some great tips. I may have to do another one. This was so much fun. You can see the similarities, like this one's a lot, you know, warmer colors, cooler colors, and then this one, I just went all out with the colors. And these were the last stamps that I had made, was the arch. I did end up using the big moon that I had cut out, and a couple more lanterns. I used the kitty again, and this one, I did add the gold in the grass, which turned out really great. I did spray it again. And I did that in all of them. No, I didn't do this one. I did the background like that. I don't know if you can tell, I really like that mottled kind of watercolor background. But, and I love how this turned out, and I'm so sad the video didn't happen, but whatever. It was not meant to be. So, and then I did use the big stamp in a darker color, so I wanted to show you that. But what I did want to show you is I did practice a bit before I started doing these videos, because I didn't want to look like a total moron, and I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I think I have to zoom out a touch maybe here. There we go. Yeah, so I did these on a big 9 by 12 book that I was telling you about, and this is the first time I played with the stamps, and that tree didn't work. You can see why I ended up taking it off, because it didn't stamp over here. Then I tried to fill it anyways. Yeah, and stuff. This one was kind of this one. I was practicing, and then I decided I did like to add a little bit more, and I think the moon really makes it. So I'm happy with that one. I used some also pencil crayons on this, and I just, although it doesn't look bad, it's not my favorite. I do like felt pens. It's just me. You do what you like. And then this one was the first witch that I made, which I didn't do in any of my samples because she was a little bit bigger. After I made her, I thought, well, she's kind of big. So I made the other ones a little bit smaller. But anyways, I love this one. I love, love, love all the browns. It's so warm. It's so cozy feeling. It's very galactic. But I love this one too. Like, look at that. Anyways, that is the third video of the 3 videos. I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear some comments below if you've tried this, or if you'd like to see some more videos like this, because it's very addicting. I had so much fun, and I'd love to cut some more. Maybe I will do some winter or Christmas ones. So that is it. Those are the videos. Sorry we missed the last one, but really it's just a few things different than these ones, but not a lot. But I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day.